Well, in 2020, I had three big changes in life. My wife died. My father passed 4 months later from COVID-19. When the lockdown was announced in the middle of March, the business that I'm in, the practice that I have, was considered a non-essential service. So it was like dead stop, um, don't stop doing business with my patients. So that means no income flow.
Well, food in general is just, you need it for mental stability. And sometimes, if you don't have that access to food, you just can go mentally in a downward spiral.
Because I was never an outdoorsy person. And then when I met him, we spent a lot of weekends on beaches and parks and just camping and getting out, things I had never done before. Probably the best thing, he was a teacher, and so he was just always encouraging me to be my full potential. Sometimes he acted a little bit too much like a teacher, like I was a student. But it was amazing. We challenged each other, and we both always wanted to learn new things.
So per se, when I was a little girl, I wasn't always making the best choices or hanging out with like the best crowd, you'd say. I was a silly kind of girl. I was hyper, always wanted to get into like the mischief sort of thing. So the center allowed me to move past that and see that I didn't always have to make those silly choices and stuff to be the funny one. I didn't always have to go do the bad activities or go do like something that I know isn't necessarily right to be kind of cool or fit in with all the other kids or something like that. When I was growing up in grade 8, I didn't think about graduating high school. I didn't really care about too much about that stuff like that. School was school, and that was that for me. And they really pushed me to do better for me. So I'd say they definitely helped me overcome, kind of pushed me into becoming the more mature person I am today, in a sense.
Adele is one of our current staff members. She had a rough, challenged life, and it was because of your support that made that difference. She is now on the right track, continuing her education, going into a college, looking into the field of child and youth, and it's because you made that difference. So I want you to continue to donate to the United Way of Hope.
Sometimes it's hard living paycheck to paycheck. If it wasn't for a food pantry, some days I would probably not be eating at all. If I can come and access food this way, I can put that money somewhere else, maybe onto a bill or something else, just to help out with the budget that I have at home. And for others in general too, I'm thinking it would help out a lot.
I felt really alone when John died, and the United Way program really, I reached out to them, and they just really helped me feel less alone. They helped connect me with people who understood the loss or similar loss to what I was experiencing. I was having a hard time because I'm 38, and when John died, I was 37. So statistically, not a lot of people in my age group are dealing with the death of a spouse, which is really hard to navigate. So they've just really helped me feel less alone and helped me feel validated in my grief, which has been tremendously helpful during a time when I've never felt so alone in my life.
Three little birds sat on my window, and they told me I don't need to worry. The more things seem to change, the more they stay the same. Ooh, don't you think it's strange? Girl, put your records on.
Without the program, there'd be so many more of us that are being joining gangs and causing trouble and stuff like that. And especially my family, there's a lot of that which happens. And so it was kind of if I wasn't here, we all know what would be happening right now. And so I'd say thank you for keeping it open, because it gives kids who have issues at home and stuff an outlet and a place to be where they feel comfortable and safe.
Blue as the sky, sombre and lonely.
So all of that just changed my outlook. I was struggling, and then I heard that the United Way was sponsoring a course in mindfulness, and I knew that would be very helpful for me to get back on track, become more positive again, and that certainly happened. My life is moving forward. I'm enjoying life again, and I'm thankful that I was able to take that program. Thank you.
The more they seem to change, the more you stay the same. Ooh, don't you hesitate.